afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day and enjoying the weather. The fact that it's so windy. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, has definitely been our theme song this year. There's a reason it's our state song because it is so true. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, we have just had so much wind. When I was thinking about what to do today and just some things that have been mulling over in my head. Sometimes I held on to things longer than I should, or I I try to overanalyze things or overthink things or whatever. But I had talked to the youth not very long ago, a couple weeks ago, when Zach was gone, and we talked about labels. We and I threw some out there at them, and we talked about those, and then they threw some back at me, and we talked about those. But we like to label things. We like to do that. We like to label people. We like to make quick judgments and label people. And I moved a lot as a kid. I went to many different schools. I didn't have, I don't have those roots that a lot of people that my kids grew up with. And my kids are a perfect example of that. They went to school with the same people from kindergarten all the way to high school. I did not. I did not do that. Did not. And so I moved a lot, and I was the new kid a lot. And, when you move, luckily, when my dad was in the Air Force, we went to school on base. So we understood what it was like to be the new kid because we were all new kids often. But when we went to school off base, that was a eye opener, big eye opener. I only went to school off base once, and that was my 7th and 8th grade years when we lived in California. But it was a big eye opener, and I was bullied a lot because there were town kids and there was base kids, and I was bullied a lot, and I know what being bullied is like. And when I got an email once about being a mean girl, I took great offense to that because I was like, no, that's not me. I know what that feels like, and I don't want anybody else to ever feel like that. And my youngest daughter is kind of dealing with that with her youngest child. My granddaughter Baylor is very forthcoming with her thoughts and will tell you how she feels, and so really having to work on etiquette with her and holding our tongue sometimes. But it got me to thinking. We do put labels on things, but the label that we need to worry about is the label that God gave us. So when we talked about this in youth, we talked about, the world's going to say we're a lot of things. The world's going to say we're mean. The world's going to say we're nice. The world's going to say we're pretty. The world's going to say we're ugly. The world's going to say we're fat. We're skinny. We're weird. We're different. There are so many different labels that people just like to put. They just like to label them. Label. So I reread this again. Reread this verse again. Because it's very important that we understand who he says we are. In 1 Peter chapter 2, it says, but you are not like that. And he's talking about we're not like the world. We're not like the world. We are chosen. We are, because we have accepted him as our Savior, we are different. And that's what he's saying. But you're not like that. For you are a chosen people. We are chosen. He chose us. He chose each and every one of us. And when it explained to the youth, we don't get to choose him. He chooses us. He comes, he knocks on our heart. We have the option to answer and accept and believe and confess who he is in our life, or we can just turn away and walk on. Will he knock again? Yes. Yes, he will. For you are a chosen people. You are a kingdom of priests. So we're in a kingdom. We belong to a king. And in a kingdom, which back then they were surrounded by walls, kingdom, the king provided for all the people in his kingdom, made sure everybody had what they needed. He provided for his kingdom. Just the same way Jesus is providing for us, and we are in his kingdom. We are a kingdom of priests, God's holy nation. We are a nation in itself for God. His very own possession. We should be like shouting that from the rooftops every single day. I am his. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what the world says about me. I am his. I am his. You may not like me. You may think I'm too much, not enough, too slow, too fast, too whatever. But I am his. I am his. This is so you can show others the goodness of God. He made us all these things so we could go out into the nations and spread the gospel. So we can show others God's goodness. For he called you out of the darkness into his wonderful light. So we're no longer in the dark, we're in the light, but sometimes we act like we're still in the dark. Because sometimes old habits come in, or sometimes anger, or bitterness, or jealousy, or frustration, or whatever it may be, takes us back to some old habits. But we're still his. We are still his possession. We are still loved by him. We are still his child. He calls us his child. We need to understand exactly what he means when he says that. We are his completely and wholly. I didn't bring the other scripture over here, and I should have, but I just didn't grab it. I know where it's at. In Psalms 139, it says, starting at verse 13, you made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous, and how well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day passed. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They are innumerable. I can't even count them. They outnumber the grains of sand. And when I wake up in the morning, you are still with me. He knit us together in our mother's womb. He had a part to play in that. Even if my parents did not attend church. They were raised in church, both of them. But when they got away from their parents and out of their own respective homes that way and became one, they no longer wanted to attend church. So we did not attend church as children. I went a couple of times with a friend that in Germany, but anytime I was with my grandmother Jones, she showed me who Jesus was. She definitely was that Proverbs 31 woman, working hard, going out and creating a life for herself after my grandfather passed away. She could make more out of less than anybody I've ever seen. She could grow the most beautiful gardens, beautiful flowers. She loved her cats. But if her cats had too many, she also knew how to take care of them. I was amazed at my grandmother. But what are we showing our children? Are we showing them we're a label maker as well? Like we spew those labels out like a little label maker. You can make those labels and you spit them out and you stick them on. Is that what we're doing? That's what's being spewed out of our mouth? Did you see her? Did you see him? Did you see it? Is that what we're doing? We need to remember whose we are. We are his very own possession. his very own possession. We need to love each other in spite of our differences, in spite of our past, in spite of our whatever. We need to love one another. Some days that's difficult because God's children do not play nice. Mike said that in his sermon Sunday, and that hit so right. So right. It's important to know people in church can hurt you, and that's not God. That's people in church. That's people. People can be mean. People can be ugly. People can be rude. People can be hateful. That's not God. Just because they're in this building doesn't make them sanctimoniously religious or whatever you want to call it. Just makes them people. And we're all broken. We're all fighting a battle. We talked about that yesterday. We're all fighting a battle. We need to learn how to be kinder to one another. And realize we are now the people of God. Once you received none of God's mercy, now you received his mercy. We receive his mercy new every single morning. Mercy and grace. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life, because we've chosen to follow him. If you have any questions about that, you can always text 918-399-5956 or call. That's the church number. I'm usually here from 10 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, some days on Saturdays, always here on Sundays. But I am blessed with this job. God gave me this job. Of that I am absolutely positively sure. Have no doubt about that. You all just heard Stella and her thoughts of the day today. But I'm absolutely sure God gave me this job. And Mike made it in his sermon, I think it was 3 weeks ago. You don't leave church because someone hurt your feelings. You leave church because God told you to leave. And if he didn't tell you to leave, it's not going to go well for you. So we have to follow and obey what he says, because we are his and he has a plan for us. And even on those hard days where we can't see the plan, where we don't even see that, we can't see anything, it just looks like a disaster to us and everything's gone wrong and everything seems to be falling apart, we just have to trust him and continue to know that I am his. He chose me, and he didn't choose me to punish me. He didn't choose me to leave me where he found me. He chose me to grow me and to make me into the person that he knows I can be. So remember that. When you're struggling, he loves you more than anybody else in this whole wide world. So I hope you'll take that, and I hope you'll understand you are chosen, and you are a royal priesthood, God's holy nation. You're a chosen people, a kingdom of priests. So just know that he loves you that much. I hope you guys have a great, great Thursday. The wind is crazy still yet. I thought we were supposed to have storms, but it looks like that all fell apart. So here we are. We need some rain. I don't like rain. I don't like rain, especially early spring rains, because they're usually cold rains, and cold rains hurt my bones. But we need some rain. We're desperate for some rain. So I hope you guys have a great Thursday. I will be back here tomorrow and finish out the week. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.